¿Qué onda, mi gente? What's up, everyone? And welcome to First Gen Advice, where we break down all the necessities of surviving in the United States as a first gen, all the way from finance and budgeting, college and whether it's the next step for you, career development, and of course, navigating cultural differences. My name is Jack Attacks, and I consider myself to be first generation. I'll be walking or running right alongside you on this first gen experience on every single episode of First Gen Advice. Hit whatever notification alert you have on whatever platform you're listening to, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, so you don't miss the latest advice. Now, let's start with the basics. Who is considered first generation? Well, according to the US government, a person is considered first generation if they are the first generation in their family to be born in the United States. Now, I'm going to be honest and tell you that I absolutely hate this definition for a couple reasons. One, because I know my English teacher is probably losing it and saying, you're not supposed to be using the actual word that you're defining in the definition. Point number two, it also excludes an entire group of people that may identify as first gen. And for me, the first group of people that happens to come to mind are DACA recipients, also known as dreamers. Under DACA, aka the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrival Policy, children who arrived to the United States before they were 16 years old are able to legally stay in the United States upon application and approval and blah, 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 all this other stuff. So as with anything, do your own research, find out the specifics, hop on Google, you know what to do. Many dreamers I would consider first gen because they grew up here. They know what the culture's about. They know what our food's about. They know what our politics are about. And they may not necessarily have a connection to the country that they happen to be born in. Now, this is just one segment of people that I believe are left out of this definition. That said, this podcast, First Gen Advice, is meant for anyone who feels this information is relevant to them, whether it's for personal connection or you're just genuinely curious about the first gen experience. This podcast is here for you and all your curiosities. Now, don't forget to hit the notification button so you know exactly when the next episode is dropping, or even better, follow us on social media at First Gen Advice to get sneak peeks of the next episode. Super excited to be bringing this podcast to life. You don't want to miss out on some of the great guests that I'm going to have on this podcast. And of course, I will see you next time.